Chapter 1. Job and his family. Many years ago, a man named Job lived in the land of Uz. He was a truly good person who respected God and refused to step to the evil. Job had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 5 pair of oxen, 500 donkeys, and a large number of servants. He was the richest person in the East. Job's sons took turns having feasts in their homes, and they always invited their 3 sisters to join in the eating and drinking. After each feast, Job would send for his children and perform a ceremony as a way of asking God to forgive them of any wrong they may have done. He would get up early the next morning and offer a sacrifice for each of them, just in case they had sinned or silently cursed God. Angels, the Lord, the Satan. One day, when the angels had gathered around the Lord, the Satan was there with them. The Lord asked, Satan, where have you been? Satan replied, I have been going all over the earth. Then the Lord asked, what do you think of my servant Job? No one on earth is like him. He is a truly good person who respected me and refused to do evil. Why shouldn't he respect you? Satan remarked. You are like a well protecting not only him, but his entire family and all his property. You make him successful in whatever he does, and his flocks and herd are everywhere. Try taking away everything he owns, and he will curse you to your face. The Lord replied, all right, Satan, do what you want with anything that belongs to him, but don't harm Job. Then Satan laughed. Job loses everything. Job's sons and daughters were having a feast in the home of his oldest son when someone rushed up to Job and said, while your servants were plowing with your oxen and your donkeys and were nearby eating grass, a gang of Sabeans attacked and stole the oxen and donkeys. Your other servants were killed, and I am the only one who escaped to tell you. The servant was still speaking when a second one came running and said, God sent down a fire that killed your sheep and your servant. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Before the servant finished speaking, a third one raised up and said, 3 gangs of Chaldeans attacked and stole your camels. All of your other servants were killed, and I am the only one who escaped to tell you. The servant was still speaking when a fourth one dashed up and said, your children were having a feast and drinking wine at the home of your oldest son, when suddenly a windstorm from the desert brought the house down, crushing all of your children. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. When Job heard this, he tore his clothes and shaved his head because of his great sorrow. He knelt on the ground, then worshipped God and said, we bring nothing at birth, we take nothing. with us at death. The Lord alone gives and takes. Praise the name of the Lord. In spite of everything, Job didn't sin or accuse God of doing wrong. Chapter 2. Job loses his health. When the angels gathered around the Lord again, Satan was there with them, and the Lord asked, Satan, where have you been? Satan replied, I have been going all over the earth. Then the Lord asked, what do you think of my servant Job? No one on earth is like him. He is a truly good person who respected me and refused to do evil. And he hasn't changed, even though you persuade me to destroy him for no reason. Satan answered, there is no pain like your own. People will do anything to stay alive. Try striking Job's own body with pain, and he will curse you to your face. All right, the Lord replied, make Job suffer as much as you want, but just don't kill him. Satan laughed and caused his painful sores to break out all over Job's body, from head to toe. Then Job sat on the ash head to show his sorrow, and while he was scraping his sores with a broken piece of pottery, his wife asked, why do you still trust God? Why don't you curse him and die? He replied, don't talk like a fool. If we accept blessing from God, we must accept trouble as well. In all that happened, Job never once said anything against God. Job's three friends, Eliphaz from Teman, Bildad from Shua, and Jupar from Nama, were three of Job's friends, and they heard about his troubles, so they agreed to visit Job and comfort him. When they came near enough to see Job, they could hardly recognize him, and in their great sorrow, they tore their clothes, then sprinkled dust on their head and cried bitterly. For 7 days and nights, they sat silently on the ground beside him, because they realized what terrible pain he was in. Chapter 3. Job's first speech. Blot out of the day of my birth. Finally, Job cursed the day of his birth by saying to God, blot out the day of my birth and the night when my parents created the sun. Forget about that day. Cover it with darkness and sent thick, gloomy shadows to fill it with that dread. Erase that night from the calendar and conceal it with darkness. Let children be created of joy or joyful shout is be heard ever again in that night. Let those with magic powers place a curse on that day, darken each morn's stars, and remove all hope of light, because it let me be born into a world of trouble. Why didn't I die at birth? Why didn't I die at birth? Why was I accepted and allowed to nurse at my mother's breast? Now I'd be at peace in a silent world below with kings and their advisors whose places lie in ruins, and with rulers once rich with silver and gold. I wish I had been born dead and then buried, never to see the light of day in the world of the dead. The wicked and the weary rest without a worry. Everyone is there, where captives and slaves are free at last. Why does God let me live? Why does God let me live when life is miserable and so bitter? I keep longing for death more than I would seek a valuable treasure. Nothing could make me happier than to be in to be in the grave. Why do I go on arriving, living? God has me surrounded, and I can't see the road. Moaning and groaning are my food and drink, and my worst fears have all come true. I have no peace or rest, only troubles and worries. Chapter 4. Arpa's first speech. Please be patient and listen. Eliphaz from Teman said, please be patient and listen to what I have to say. Remember how your words have guided and encouraged many in need. But now you feel discouraged when struck by trouble. You respect God and live right, so don't lose hope. No truly innocent person have ever died young. In my experience, only those who plant seeds of evil harvest trouble, and then they are swept away by the angry breath of God. They may roar and growl like powerful lions, but when God breaks their teeth, they starve and their children are scattered. A secret was told to me. A secret was told to me in a faint whisper. I was overcome by sleep, but disturbed by dreams. I trembled with fear, and my hair stood on end as a wind blew past my face. It stopped and stood still. Then a form appeared, a shapeless form, and from the silence I heard a voice say, the humans are innocent in the eyes of God, their Creator. He finds fault with his servant and even with his angels. Humans are formed from clay and are fragile as months. So what chance do you have? Born after daybreak, you die before nightfall and disappear forever. Your tent pegs are put up, and you live this life, having gained no wisdom. Chapter 5. Eliphaz continues. Call out for help. Job, call out for help and see if an angel comes. Envy and jealousy will kill a stupid fool. I have seen fool take root. God sent the curse, suddenly uprooting them and leaving their children helpless in court. Then hungry and greedy people gobble up their crops and grab their wealth. Your suffering isn't caused by the failure of crops. It's all part of life, like sparks shooting skyward. Yup, if I were you, I would ask God for help. His miracles are marvelous, more than we can count. God sends showers on earth and waters the field. He protects the sorrowful and lifts up those who have been disgraced. God swiftly traps the wicked in their own evil schemes, and their wisdom fails. Darkness is their only companion, hiding their paths at noon. God rescued the needy from the wars of the wicked, and the first of the mighty, the poor and filled with hope, and injustice is silenced. Consider yourself fortunate. If God all powerful chooses to correct you, He may cause injury and pain, but will bandage and heal your hurt and breathe it. God will protect you from harm, no matter how often trouble may strike. In times of war and fame, God will keep you safe. You will be sheltered without fear or hurtful words or any other weapon. You will laugh at the threat of destruction and fame, and you won't be afraid of wild animals. There will no longer be fears, and your rocky field will become friendly. Your home will be secure, and your sheep will be safe. You will have more descendants than there are blades of grass on the face of the earth. You will live a very long life, and your body will be strong until the day you die. Our experience has proven these things to be true, so listen and run.